Hey, so you guys have all been requesting that I do a makeup video, so this was going to be my first video. It's not going to be super great like all the other ones that I know we all watch all day, every day. I'm going to be using my little compact mirror. But yeah, okay, so here we go. So I first cleansed, I cleansed my face with these. I'm trying these out for the first time. And so far I liked them. It did kind of dry out my face, so I'd use my moisturizer, which I actually don't have around me. But then I did go ahead and prime my face with this, which I'm actually almost out of. So I'll have to go back to Ulta. But I have been really liking that, and that's a really smooth finish. And then you want to let that sit for about 5 minutes. So now that I've done that, I will now cream contour my face. I use this color to highlight, and in the winter, because I'm so light, and even this color is still obviously the lightest on the palette, and it's still too light for me, then I use this one to contour. And then I do the normal 3 shape, little here, here, and then here, and I even go as far as here also. So do that. And you always want to do it in a triangle, like that. And that'll highlight from here all of that area and make it look like, more sunlight or whatever is hitting your face. Make like a triangle, make it like stop, like kind of like here, right on top of the cheekbone. You don't want to go in here because this is where your contour is going to be. You can know where your contour is by either measuring from your lip to your ear, this little part of your ear, or that, whichever way you want to do it. You always want to do the darkest here and then to the lightest almost to where you can't see it. And I wouldn't go farther than here. You do want to contour, like, if you want a longer nose, you would contour right there. I don't normally do that, but just for the sake of argument. And then here, and here, in just kind of like another triangle. You're going to use a lot of triangles with contouring. And then... And sometimes I do this and sometimes I don't. You can go right here just to kind of outline the contour, and it makes your contour look deeper. So, I mean, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. And then my chin. Partially because this is like a problem area color-wise. And then pretty much there. Let me just make sure I got everywhere. Okay, and now for the contour, I don't have too much because it is a dark color and the lightest colors are even too dark on me. So I always put the most here and drag down. And I usually don't even add more product because it will be way too much for my face. And then do the same on the other side. Okay. And then right about there, tiny little bit. Some people do right here. I can never do it right, so I just don't do it at all. I do it a little bit under my lip, and then it just makes my bottom lip look fuller because I have more of a shadow. And then I go right here. Right there. And if you practice good enough, I actually a couple days gotten it to where, because I put it a little bit up my jaw too, and if you get good enough with this and this, you could have some Angelina Jolie structure going on. So practice does make perfect. So now that I have all of my colors on, I got this really awesome brush. I highly suggest getting one. So it's like, it looks like a normal blending brush, but there's a dip in the middle, and I don't know if you can see that, but you actually like literally pour your foundation into the dip and dot it all over, and then just blend it in. And honestly, even if you don't put foundation in it, it's still an amazing blending brush. So then I blend in all of the light parts first. And I do the eyelids. Most people are like, oh, that's stupid to do your eyelids because you're going to cover it with shadow. Which, yeah, that's true, but like, don't you want an even base? I don't know. That's just me though. You are going to cover it up, but like, what if you miss a spot or, you know, anything, and then you have an uneven base, and then I just don't want to even take that chance. And then in this part, you don't have to get super specific, because you are still going to put foundation on. And this one I blend also into my hair also, just because then it looks more shadowy, so it looks more natural, not like, you know, cake face, straight lines and stuff. And that's also why you do your neck too, so you have like a nice blend. It is hard to get out though the next day. You could pretty much blend this into the whole like bottom, and you want to be really careful, like I said, with the contour, because then it'll pretty much get rid of any double chin that you have. Like, I know when you open Snapchat, you're like, but that will kind of help control that, I guess. So, there, we've done that. So that's all we're done with our contour. So now, for our foundation now, you can go straight to powders if you want to, if you're ever wanting like a lesser of a coverage that day, or if you're really happy with the way your contour came out, you can just go straight to powders. I like to kind of balance everything with a foundation over, and you can use liquid. Powder will set it, so like I said, you can go straight to powders, but I like to go liquid, and this is actually a cream day foundation. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's from Mary Kay. It's really old. I don't know if they still sell it, but I really love Mary Kay anything, and I know it's kind of old lady-ish, but Mary Kay is awesome. I use their cleanser. It's fantastic. So then I just take my brush and dip it right in. This is the lightest shade. It's sometimes still too dark. And then you kind of just blot it everywhere. You don't really want to take favorites or worry about the contour or anything like that right now. Just cover everything like normal. And just start blending wherever. And then this is why I say don't worry too much about like how you blend it or anything, because then you're gonna put foundation over it, and then if you put too much foundation, that's why we use bronzers and powders, because then you can get like the perfect amount. But it's not like you just have this bronzer sitting on top of your face. You have a base layer, a lighter layer, and then like another kind of word to use there. But then it just looks like more natural to me, anyways. Some people think it's too much makeup, but it just makes me happy. So now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and let that sit on my face and let my face kind of absorb it. And while I do that, I'm going to start my eyebrows, which are kind of a big topic. So I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pomade Dip Brow in medium brown. And you really want to be careful with this because a little goes a long way. A long way. And if you get too much, you kind of just have to deal with it and hope for the best. So when I do this, kind of close. So I've already used this. It's called Wonder Balm. It says you can use it for all this stuff, but I really only use it as like a brow wax. And then I get my kind of general shape using the spoolie, and then I put it in the shape. So I'll pretty much just be using this dip brow to line and then fill in darkest to lightest. And I actually I try to use this product as sparingly as possible. Like, I got this from my baby shower when Olivia was born, and this is over as much as I've used it. So it'll last me for forever. So we start kind of in the middle, and that's just because if you have too much, you can blend it on either side. But then if you don't have too much, you can always add more. So I always rather have too much or too little than too much. So then you really just want to blend as much as possible before you get any more product on, at least just with this brand specifically. Okay, so kind of just I actually follow the shape of my natural eyebrow for the most part and fill in like the littler gaps. Like, you know, where you just don't have enough hair. Like, some places are thicker than others, and that's totally fine. And this brow is actually longer and flatter and goes down like kind of like that. And this one has more of an arch, so just remember that your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. I know it's super hard, and I really hate it, and every time I walk past a mirror, I have to remind myself of it. Your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So it's totally fine to have a little bit different looking eyebrows. See, and that's when you have too much product. You always want the bottom portion, this portion, to be darker than this portion, obviously. I'm pretty satisfied with this eyebrow, and if you do choose to carve out your eyebrows with concealer, then you don't have to worry too much about being absolutely perfect with that, because you know you're going to fix up the little things, but you do want to have a pretty good general shape. Now, if you are wanting to carve out your eyebrows, if you're new to this, it does definitely take some practice, and it's not like whiteout. It's not going to correct every single mistake. So if you have a lot of product, it is not going to fix a lot of product. It's going to look like you put concealer over too much product. So that's why I say be careful with that. And you may want to just have a Q-tip ready with some water, petroleum jelly, or however you get your makeup off, and just like, bloop. So they do have those cute, pointy, super pointy ones just for that purpose. So if you are accident prone, that's okay. You can fix it. It's not that big of a deal. I would be lying though if I said I didn't try and make them match as closely as possible. If they were twins, I would be happy. Okay, so I can say that I'm pretty decently happy with it. So now what I do at this point is I take my clear brow gel. This one's just by Milani, which is pretty decently priced. Just any clear brow gel, it doesn't really matter. And then you can put your actual hairs in place. Now, if you use wax, that's fantastic. I just like to go over this one more time, because also if you get clear, or if you're feeling dangerous, you can get a tinted one. I wouldn't personally, but that's just me. Then you can lighten up this ombre type thing, and it does kind of pick up the extra product. So if you did mess up a little bit, this is a little bit of a redemption for you. Now it will change its color, because like I said, this was originally clear, but if you use the same product over and over, then it's the exact same color that you're already using. So kind of make your own personalized brow gel, and that's always pretty cool. So we will lighten that up a little bit and pick up any extra product. Make sure our hairs stay in spot. Think of the wax like mousse in your hair, and then you style your hair, and then you put hairspray over top of it. Like you already used mousse, but we all know we're going to still use hairspray, so. And then you carve. And this is kind of the same thing with the Anastasia. I got this at the same time, and it was like $2. Yes, it's super cheap, but this is probably the best thing I've ever used, and this is all that I've used. So, with the carving out, you can pretty much just use that to help your eyebrows with that shape that you were going for. And if you went natural, awesome. If you went a little dramatic, very cool. Whatever your preference is. I always say good makeup is the makeup that makes you happy. You're the only person who knows what good makeup is to yourself. So, just keep going for whatever you were going for, and this is more of just like a highlighter, if anything. And then you don't want any harsh lines, so try and make it look as natural, like blending on the outside lines as possible. So you might want to just fill in a little bit of the surrounding area with the concealer. I mean, it's just like coloring in a coloring book. You just like to shade, you know? And then the other eye. Now, luckily with concealer, if you get too much product, all you have to do is blend it out. So, that's cool. Now I can press this one up. So that can fix it. Okay, that took forever. Eyebrows always take me the longest. I am so sorry. Okay, so now if you remember, we have not yet put any powder on our face. So before you do that, I like to put on a coat of setting spray before we put any powder on. I do that in an X and then just one like in this area just to kind of get my neck too. Okay, that will not be the only time I use it, so don't put it away. So now I take, this is called Bye Bye Pores by It Cosmetics, and I take my fluffy brush, and I take this little whatever out of there. I dump some product onto the little spongy it came with. Which is always scary to me. You just want to coat your brush enough that it looks like too much, and then just put it under your eyes. And actually, I might just use the little spongy it came with to do this. So you want to put, like I said, way too much under your eyes at first. And that's totally okay. Because this is called baking. Basically, as your liquid makeup is sitting into your skin, because we all know that's what it does. Nobody will talk about it. It does. Then this, and you want to do that on all the places that you highlighted. This will sit into your skin with it. And then everything gets set. And then this is supposed to not cause it to not crease. And I know that I've had a problem with that, and ever since I started doing that, I have not had a problem with it. So I definitely believe in this. So now, while that's setting, I like to do my eyelashes, which these are just simple drugstore eyelashes. I get them in number 11, and they're my absolute favorite things in the whole world. I think this whole set was like $8, and it came with 5 pairs. And a set of little tweezer things to apply them with. I don't like applying with tweezers. I don't like stuff that stuff close to my face, which is weird because I curl my eyelashes. I don't know. But before I put my lashes on, I like to curl my lashes, and then I put a like darker layer around my eyes of just eyeshadow, and then just eyeliner on my waterline, and then that gives it like a really nice smoky. But then at the same time, if your eyelashes aren't perfectly in the same place, or they're not like sitting right on top of your lashes, you don't see that little gap. It's all dark and it just looks like a shadow. So if it leaves you a little bit of room for mistake, just in case you're in a hurry or something. So I curl my lashes. And then I take a brush like this, really thin, and I use my favorite Neutrals palette. They're all matte. Matte anything is my fave. Lately I've been really liking, I start out covering my entire lid with this nude color, and it's like the exact same color as my eyelid, and then I mix this black with this like dark brown color, and that's what I've been using to put around my lid, and then I also do it on the bottom of my eyelash also, just to give it like that smoky thing, just because I really like smoky eyes. So to do the nude color, I like to use just a regular fluffy brush. Put it in, tap a little bit of the product off so it doesn't flush down over here. And then you cover your whole lid. I like to think of it as like a setting powder for your lid almost. It kind of like neutralizes the color, but not in an obnoxious way. And then you do it on the bottom also. To an extent, anything that I do on the top of my lash, or the top of my lid, sorry, I'm going to do to the bottom also. Alright. Now that we've done that, it's been about 5 minutes. I'm gonna do that. Now I don't set my powder until I'm done with my eyeshadow, just so that I don't have to like redo everything. So let's do that black and brown mix. Tap the extra product off. And then like I said, that just goes right along your lash line, almost like liquid eyeliner, but this kind of replaced that need for me, to be honest with you. Not to mention I suck at it. It took me 12 years to do. You don't want it like, well, I guess if you want it to be a little bit darker, you can do that. I personally don't. I like the top just to be the slightest bit darker than the bottom. I'm really into blending because then you don't have to be like super precise with anything. Like of course you do want to have like control of things, but in case like your hands are shaky or whatever, I mean not everybody's perfect. Actually nobody's perfect. Then blending will really help you to fix any of those corrections, and you can even tell. So so like that, and then it's my first. Okay, so this is just Kohl Liter. It's from Wet n Wild. This is actually my favorite because it goes on really, really smooth, but it goes on kind of thick, so you have to be kind of careful with it. And you get actually 2 really big sticks. I haven't even sharpened this yet. Like $3 or $4. It's super, really nice. I like it. So I start by just lining the waterline. Now if you go a little bit outside of your line on the top, that's a little bit okay actually, because if you're putting falsies on, then they'll just sit right on top and it'll blend in them. And then it might even make it look a little bit better, but I wouldn't suggest doing it unless you know what you're doing, and I don't, not with stick liners, so. And then for the bottom, with your waterline, I just go from the outside, like halfway to the middle. And I try and blend it like with a lighter, like as I get closer to the inner. I have a lighter hand so that it blends well, and then anything that's stuck to the top will go to your bottom eventually, and that's usually why your makeup ends in the bottom, is because you just have way too much makeup going on. So just remember that if you line the top, you generally don't need to line the bottom unless you put like a nude there to try and balance it out, but your top will go to your bottom. So like I even will just blink a little bit harder and it'll line the bottom for me perfectly. Yeah, see, like that. Great. Okay. Now, another thing I love about these lashes is that I don't even have to cut them. They're not pointy on the ends, so they don't like dig into your eye every time that you blink or anything like that. These are my absolute fave things in the whole world. And to kind of bend out the eyelash bed and run it in a circle like this, and then it kind of bends to a more curvy shape because you just broke your elastic for your eye. And then I just use Salon Perfect glue, clear, dries clear. I'll be super careful with eyelash glue, it comes out crazy fast. And you really do not need much of it. move my too carried away. I didn't think I put too much. Obviously. So we'll do that. Oh, I forgot mascara. You always want to put a coat of mascara on. Let's see if I can do this. I don't think I can. Oh, I can. Okay. Okay, you just use one coat. Okay, if you want to give that about 30 seconds to get tacky, more than about 30 seconds, then I just put it right on top of my eyelashes, like right underneath my eye. And then just as close as possible. There's the first one. You can see where the glue is. Like I said, that dries clear. And then I actually end up even putting eyeshadow over top of it, so it doesn't even matter. If it really ends up bothering you and you are really careful and you have a really sticky hand, you can like put some dots of eyeliner on it to just make it black, and it looks like you have top eyeliner on over your eyelash. Up to you. Let's do the other one. The lash bed. You will really regret it if you don't break the lash bed. Because then you'll have to take it back off your eye, and then anything that glue stuck to on your eye, you will have to redo. And it sucks. Okay, now you can see this one has dried and you pretty much can't see it. This one obviously is still wet. This one for the most part is pretty good. Okay, so since this one's all dry, we can start doing the eyeshadow over there. So I've been just really into like a very neutral, light, smoky kind of thing. So I've been just kind of playing with colors. I've been really liking this one, and this one right next to it. These two. So, I don't know, I think I might try this one today too. They're all matte, like I said, that is really my life. So I start with darkest, from this one, and I will put that over all of that pretty much. So I can start blending out that really, really dark color that we used as the like pre-eyelash base. That way it doesn't look like you just have this line there of like what the heck is going on. And then feel free to cover like the end part of the lash you just put on. And then kind of just work your way up to lightness is what I do. And this color that I showed you, that one is a really good crease color because it has more of a gray base than like a reddish base, like with most browns. And then I use that lightest color that's kind of all broken and put it right here, kind of color it so it blends all together. Make sure my lines are for the most part where I want them to be. I do like to go up a little bit higher in the corners just to kind of give it that winged effect, but using eyeshadow. Now I will wipe out as much product as I can just in the back of my hand out of there and use the lightest color, like I said, matte, and just highlight my brow bone, but then like also blend it in a little bit too, so you don't have harsh lines. Okay, now this side's dry. And with that light color just everywhere. And that white. Some people do the brow highlighter first. I like to blend it all in so nothing looks like sitting on top of each other. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can set our face with powder. So I like to do my contour first, and this is a bronzer by Pixie. It is Summertime. This is my lightest bronzer because it's winter. And I just rub it in there a little bit. Now you do want to definitely wipe off any excess product with this because this stuff is good. And then you start from the top and go down. tap a little bit more. Always tap. Always tap. And when you think you've tapped enough, tap a little bit more. Always go back. And then do the other side. Remember, always go darkest to lightest. That's good. And then don't forget down here, and you really don't need much under here. You just want to sand it a little bit so it doesn't like melt, whatever. Okay, so we went over our contour, and then I've been using Dream Wonder. Now I did break it in my first, but I love this stuff. And then I will put this over the whole face. Even all the contour. Okay, we're done there. Now, I don't know which one I want to guess first. Highlighter. We'll go highlighter. So, for those of you who don't know what highlighter is, it is still kind of a new thing. It's basically this little, like, shimmery substance. You can use an eyeshadow. They actually have highlighters. I have High Beam's liquid highlighter upstairs. I don't know which color, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I actually personally like to use a shimmery nude shadow. So this is by NYC. I use this color, and you take it, and I use my fluffy brush for my eyeshadow. I mean, it's eyeshadow anyway. And you literally tap the smallest amount because eyeshadows are so much more pigmented. And then tap. Always tap. And then you just put it right here. Do a little bit more. And then I do like to put a little bit up in my nose. There. And then it just looks like you have the sun glinting off of your face and all these weird places. I think it's cute, so I do it. Let's see. Now, before I get into lipstick, you want to make sure that you have had chapstick on for at least 10 minutes so it seeps into your lips and you aren't just like, I don't know what word I'm thinking of, like it's just not waxy, like you want to give it time for your lips to moisturize because that's what it's for. So I do that when I do my moisturizer and primer. So I've had it on this whole time. And you want to take your foundation brush, and don't put any foundation on it, don't put anything on it right now. Just take whatever was on it and put it over your lips. and then that'll kind of give you like an even base. And then if you like to like overline your lips a little bit, like I do a little bit just because my lips are uneven, then it'll kind of give you the flexibility to do that. Also drink water. Water is the best thing you can do for your skin and pretty much for everything in your body. So this is probably everybody's favorite now, but this is Cashmere by Lime Crime. Let me just read the sticker here. But yeah, this is by Lime Crime. It's my favorite. It's a liquid to matte lipstick. I don't even use lip liner with it because it's that perfect. Honestly, I love this stuff. It is a little bit like tacky on your lips, so you want to keep some Carmex, and I specifically say Carmex because it comes in a little tub, pretty much just like something you can dab and then dab here, because if you rub anything on it, you will rub all the lipstick off, and then you will wish that you put a lip liner on because everything will just be a big mess. So just put it a little bit like on the insides of your lips, and then it's just when you talk and then your lips mostly rub together. So that's pretty much it. You're just going to end everything with a setting spray, and then you're just going to go over your lashes again with one coat of mascara to kind of get everything together, and of course your bottom mascara. But just for the sake of my baby climb, I will pretty much call it quits. Don't forget to end everything in setting spray. Just that coat of mascara. And then you're done. Okay, so that's pretty much my daily makeup routine. I'm gonna go. If you have any questions, definitely leave them below. And of course, if you have my Facebook, I'll put my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram in there. But thank you for watching. Thanks. Have a good day.